The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the call. I know there's a lot of people here that do not know who we are, and we'll get into all of that. First and foremost, I want to make sure everybody can hear me. And next, I want to make sure everybody can find the question box. You're on a meeting with GoToWebinar, and over on the right-hand side in the little GoToWebinar control panel, there should be a question box that you can communicate with me through. Yeah, there is a little bit of an echo on the call. We'll try and do something about that and get rid of that. I see there's a lot of you on the call that we know, a lot of Wrecking Ball customers, also a lot of fresh faces. So I'm going to do my best to try and educate everybody on the call today with what I can. This won't take too long, but it is incredibly important to your business moving forward. So we wanted to make sure that all of our customers had the information that they needed, and we wanted to make sure that we helped anybody that we could that may not be a customer, may not have heard of us before. So again, welcome to the call. First, let me know where you're all on the call from, what part of the country. Today we're going to be talking about 2013 changes to the TCPA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. Now, this is U.S. only, these regulations that go into effect on October 16th that were published in February. However, there's some best practices information that applies no matter where you are in the world, and there's some other information such as the new way to offer text messaging that also applies no matter where you are in the world. So we've got everything here from the UK to the swamps of Louisiana to the Great Smoky Mountains to Australia, sunny Florida, Riverside, California, Mars, excellent, Holland, excellent, nice to see you, Ohio, Toronto, lots of Canadians. I know we have a lot of Canadian customers, so excellent. Good to see you all from the Channel Islands. Wonderful. Venezuela. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I won't waste any of your time. Those of you that are here were punctual, so we'll tear right into this thing. My name's Dave Igo. I'll be your host today. Like I said, we're going to have a quick but informative call and make sure everybody has everything they need to succeed. I'm the founder of Wrecking Ball Marketing, LLC, and we are software developers that make SMS software for small and local businesses and marketing consultants. Okay, we were founded in 2011, and we began developing software for businesses and marketing agencies. We're predominantly SMS based. Almost everything we do has something to do with text message marketing, and that'll be the focus of today's call. Those of you, there's a lot of changes to voice calls with the updates to the TCPA that take effect here in a little over a week. But we'll be talking about SMS as that's our core competency and that's what we know. Some of our software includes our Wrecking Ball SMS system, our WootTech shortcode platform, and our Project Loyalty. We currently have approximately 2,800 companies using our softwares and systems all over the globe, and we'd like to welcome you to the call. So what we're going to talk about on today's call is what the Telephone Consumer Protection Act is, what's changing, how we're handling it here at Wrecking Ball Marketing, and then we're going to talk about the new SMS just briefly, and then I'll have time to take any and all questions that you may have, okay? Now, before we get into this, I do need to cover some of the legal stuff, so let me go through this real quick. I need to let you know that the opinions expressed on this call are just that, opinions, and nothing shared today should be considered legal advice. Laws vary state by state and country by country, and I would always encourage you to consult your attorney or advisor with regards to your company's individual situation. By watching this presentation, you agree to hold harmless Wrecking Ball Marketing LLC, its affiliates, from any and all subsequent legal prosecution. Furthermore, Wrecking Ball Marketing makes no claims that the information contained in today's call is complete or accurate. I can only speak to what we know for sure, and a lot of this can be updated by the hour. So the bottom line is, do your research. It's your business. It's your ass on the line. The TCPA, Telephone Consumer Protection Act, originally passed into law in 1991 and basically empowered the Federal Communications Commission here in the U.S. The ability to enforce regulations. Okay, the TCPA allowed individuals a justifiable way to file lawsuits and collect damages for receiving unsolicited telemarketing calls, faxes, and pre-recorded calls. If you're in the U.S., you remember back in the early 90s when there was a lot of scuttlebutt about faxes and lawsuits, and a lot of scuttlebutt about the do not call list. Okay, those are the types of things that the Telephone Consumer Protection Act was passed into law to enforce. Okay, the 2013 revisions to the TCPA specifically address text message marketing. Okay, those take effect October 16th, 9 days away, and this is really the first time that there's been major revisions written into the TCPA to address text message marketing. TCPA considers its envelope, if you will, to encompass text messages if they're auto-delivered. If they're typed manually, then this doesn't apply. So this scared a lot of people. The bottom line is this puts you in a really, really good position to market your business, okay? And we'll get into that just a little bit later. On October 16th of 2013, prior express written consent will be required for all auto-dialed and pre-recorded calls or text messages sent or made to cell phones and pre-recorded calls made to residential landlines for marketing purposes. Okay? For marketing purposes. Let's talk about this for just a minute. If you are running a text message group that's for a church group, let's say, and you're using it so the church group can stay informed, that's not marketing, and that does not fall under the jurisdiction of the TCPA. Beginning October 16, 2013, unambiguous written consent is required before telemarketing calls or text messages can be sent. Okay, here's the kicker. Established business relationships no longer relieve advertisers of prior unambiguous written consent. Now what that means is if they're on your list right now and you've been sending them text messages but you don't have written consent, if you continue to send them text messages after October 16th, you will be in violation of TCPA. Okay? It's retroactive. So you will be out of compliance if your systems just wait. For instance, let's say the text message marketing platform you're using puts a system in place that isn't proactive but reactive. And you just put a system in place so the next time somebody texts in or the next time you send a message, you re-invite them onto the list and you update them and get your written consent. If that goes out after the 16th, you will be out of compliance. Okay? Fines of $500 to $1,500 per message can be levied. Okay? What does that mean in layman's terms? What it means is you need to re-invite everybody onto your list. Okay? This would be a typical re-invite message that spans 2 texts. This could span 3 or 4 texts. You're going to business name and an offer, and you're going to get them to reply yes to renew your message. Okay? There's other ways to do this, but the legalese that's required here is the auto-dialed marketing text messages and the not required to buy goods and services. Okay, so you need to re-invite everybody onto your list. Then going forward, a double opt-in type of a system should be considered required. Would not have to be. You could deliver a welcome message and tell them everything in your welcome message and then ask them to reply with a name or an email as well. But you do have to tell them exactly what they're signing up for and get expressed written consent. Okay? Now, reply with name and reply with email is going to be a little bit better for you going forward. Okay? The bottom line is you want a system with hard-coded compliance. If you're on a shared shortcode system and your provider has not put a method in place for you to re-invite your list, you are in grave danger of getting your list banned, getting fined and sued for every non-compliant message that goes out. Internally, we're hard-coding our Wrecking Ball SMS platform. I'll show you in a minute so we can demonstrate how you would use some of these features. But we're hard-coding our software. So if you're on our shared shortcode for the protection of everybody that's on the shared shortcode, you're going to see this pop up in the next couple of days, and you will need to re-invite everybody onto your shortcode to be in compliance. Now, we've taken the time to write the message for you with the legalese, but still give you room to edit in the beginning of the message and the deal and the offer and all of those kinds of things. All right? Let me pop over here real quick to our SMS system. And what I'm about to share with you applies no matter what SMS system you may be using. I happen to have ours handy, so that's what I'm going to show you. I'm in the back of our Wrecking Ball SMS system, where we can manage everything to do with the system. And this is not going to turn into a Wrecking Ball sales call. However, I had to pull something up on the screen to show you this. Okay? So I'm just going to jump over into SMS campaigns here real quick and just pick one of our campaigns. For over a year now, the Wrecking Ball SMS system has had the ability to do a double opt-in subscription. We can reply with a keyword, we can reply with an email, and we can reply with a name. And we can interrupt the process all along the way. So in the case of what I just showed you, we'd have our campaign message where somebody would be able to text in a keyword to join, and then we would state that you're about to receive automated text message campaigns with so many texts per month, and you don't have to buy to participate. Now, there's ways to word that are going to be much better from a marketing standpoint. For instance, instead of saying, you agree to receive auto-dialed text messages, automated text message marketing from us 5 to 6 times a month, why can't we say, yes, I want to receive amazing offers via text message 5 or 6 times a month because I'm a loyal customer? That accomplishes the same thing. And with our system, you can do that. Okay? I'm going to jump back over to our slideshow here real quick. And we'll take any questions you have at the end of the call, but I wanted to get through this. So if you're a Wrecking Ball SMS customer, in the next couple of days, you're going to be provided with a compliant, hard-coded solution if you're on the short code that's going to allow you to properly reinvite everybody with a single click of the mouse. I hope if you're not on the Wrecking Ball SMS platform, your service provider is doing that too. Now let's talk just for a minute about what we're calling the new way to sell SMS. Again, this is our product, but this applies no matter what systems, no matter what tools you may have your hands on as a business or as a marketing consultant. I have up on the screen our project loyalty system. And this is just a screen capture off of our website. But as you can see, Project Loyalty is point-of-sale, tablet-based rewards kiosks that still interact with SMS. Okay? Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because it nails down unambiguous written consent. We're still using SMS here. And the reason I feel it's important that everybody understand this is kind of laid out here. We're still using SMS with all of its power, with its 92% global open rate. Knowing that people's phones are always in their back pocket, never more than 3 feet away from them, we're still using SMS. But what we're doing is we're providing an intake platform that's engaging, that customers want to sign up with. Now, I don't care whether you're using an in-store loyalty program or you're driving web traffic or Facebook traffic. If you make the paradigm shift to understanding that your text message marketing can commingle with other forms of marketing and engagement, you'll be provided tremendous opportunities to constantly be granted unambiguous written consent. If I go back one slide here, actually if I go forward one slide, I think you'll see what I mean. No, let me go back. I'll go back one more. What we're doing here is collecting a phone number in store. We're going to put them on a text list. We're also going to put them on an email list. We're also going to engage with them on Facebook, all through here. At every step of the way, we can remind them exactly why they're on our list visually. Okay? So people enter their phone number. They're taken to this screen via text message. And we collect their name and email or take a Facebook registration, and with a pop-up, we get them to agree to the terms and conditions. Okay? Additionally, we're going to get consent again via email as our first message that goes out via the autoresponder that we're integrated with lets them know that they're going to be receiving text messages and asks them to confirm. People don't mind agreeing to the terms and conditions if they have the proper incentive. Incentives can be loyalty rewards, sweepstakes, deep discounts. They can be free tickets to events. There can be lots and lots and lots of different things you can do. Okay? Old school table tents and signage are a little too passive nowadays. Okay? More and more, today's consumer demands interaction. All right? With in-store engagement growing and growing and growing. So the new SMS isn't a tiny piece of the puzzle anymore. It's integrated with web and social across all mobile fronts seamlessly. Again, what's going to be more effective? Now keep in mind this is a screenshot, a still. But if this were live, if I were showing this on the emulator or on the kiosk in the store, you'd have scrolling ad space that tempts them to check in. Okay? With our Project Loyalty, we can also do things like pop up a digital scratch-off right on the screen. It's a much more engaging way than putting a sign on the gas pump that says text gas to whatever. If you think about this for a minute, every convenience store in the country, the most valuable counter space in every convenience store in the country is always reserved for what? Scratch-off lottery tickets. Because they're so popular. If we can find ways to engage and combine them with SMS, then we have a winner. And that's the new way to sell SMS. You're relying on SMS, but you're selling the magic. You're selling the pretty visuals. On my screen are some pictures I took and got looked at sideways for snapping all these pictures. And actually have some video, but I took stills here for this call, of a brand new convenience store in my area. Right inside the front door, we have a ton of digital advertising. Over by the deli, we have digital advertising. The two pictures on the right are screenshots taken from a video that I took, where they have two malt machines, okay, that make malts over by the soda machines, with video playing on digital touch screens on the front of them, with Facebook and Twitter integration. At checkout, on the point of sale, on the credit card machine, there was a color touch screen that displayed two more scrolling advertisements. Okay. Text message marketing is still the king. It's got a 92% open rate. It's still an effective communicator. It's still cheap. What you need to do is make it a part of an overall advertising package, overall advertising theme. So you can start moving your opt-ins into an engaging situation that constantly rewards people in one way, shape, or form. Something that people want to get, not something people are willing to look at. Okay? There's multiple tools available. You can piece them all together and you can build the puzzle. You can connect this WordPress plugin to that app builder to this text message platform. Okay? We're marketers. We understand how to sell in a local setting. Our software does most of this for you. There's other softwares that do similar, probably less effective if I dare to toot my own horn, but does cover these types of things, okay? You can piece them all together yourself, and you can make it work, all right? Now, here's the beauty of it. If you're a marketing consultant, which most of our software is geared for, although we do service businesses directly, most of you are marketing consultants. As long as you're informed and you understand what's happening, it puts you in a really, really good position. It puts you in a position to not have to compete in bulk. It puts you in the expert's position, which gives you that much more influence and that much more leverage when you're using SMS with the consumer. Think about this for just a second. If you just tell the consumer what you're about to do for them, you can still market to them. Mr. Customer, I'm about to automatically start sending you 4 to 5 amazing deals per month for being a loyal customer. That sounds an awful lot better than you're about to receive automated text message marketing from such and such, right? It's nothing to worry about. It's just something to be cognizant of. I'm open for any questions and answers. Those of you that are new can learn more at projectloyalty.com about our loyalty system. We can be asked any questions that may get missed on today's call at http://support.wreckingballmobile.com, or you can send us an email at support@wreckingballmobile.com. So with that said, I'll open up the call to any questions that you may have, and feel free to just punch them into the question box. I'll do my best to get them all answered. All right, let me get my question box opened here. George says, I'm using Wrecking Ball, but I'm not on the short code. You're still, to be in compliance, George, you're still going to have to re-invite everybody onto your list. With this compliance that takes effect October 16th, it is our firm belief that long codes will become less and less and less effective for broadcasting to a list. There's certain situations where long codes are still going to be the medium that's chosen. For instance, maybe a payment or billing reminder system where people are signing a contract and the text messages are going out infrequently instead of trying to send to a large list. So like we do with all of our software, because if we're setting it up for you as a business owner, for you as a local business owner, our concierges are going to set you up in compliant terms. However, if you're a marketing consultant, and because we sell our software all over the globe, we will not be policing the use of your long codes. So the only time we're going to force it on our end is if you're connected with our shared short code that all of our Wrecking Ball SMS owners have access to, and that's simply done to protect everybody. So let's see. I'm just looking through the question box here. There's a lot of questions, guys. So again, if I miss any questions, feel free to reach us at support.wreckingballmobile.com or support@wreckingballmobile.com. And anything we missed today, we will definitely get answered in our support desk. We just caught that one. We just covered that one. We just covered that one. David says this new law should be an opportunity to not only position better, but maybe upcharge. I don't want to tell you how to run your business, Dave. And what you're charging your clients is your business. In certain situations, there's absolutely going to be an opportunity to charge your clients more to run their marketing in a compliant fashion. I personally believe that what we're experiencing with the new TCPA here in the U.S. is almost a cost of doing business move. Regulations change all the time. It's our job to follow suit. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree that there is certain situations that require that. Dunk says, arrived a tiny bit late. What about Canada? What we're talking about today, the TCPA rev changes that take effect October 16th of 2013, those are USA regulations. However, Canada is kind of already out in front of us. And basically what we've showed on the webinar here should be considered best practices. Those of you that are on our Canadian shared short code, that's coming online, the double opt-in and the proper welcome message will just be dealt with. So you'll have an opportunity to edit all of that, and we'll have another call supporting the Canadians as we go live on the short code in the very near future. But basically you should adopt the standards that we just shared here. My understanding, again, this is all hearsay, what I'm about to tell you. But my understanding is the UK is much more liberal still, and that the best practices are not as big a concern, and certainly not legislatable in the UK. So, to be clear, Mercer wants to know, to be clear, all loyalty kiosk opt-ins require double opt-in, correct? It's different It's not really a double text opt-in. What we talked about at the beginning of the call when we showed the Wrecking Ball SMS platform was pure text. With the loyalty kiosk, let me pull up a screenshot here real quick. The first message that goes out via text message takes them to this screen where they complete a registration, terms and conditions are posted, and they show up in a pop-up on the complete registration, which we showed. So we don't need a double opt-in via text message because we're going to present them with terms and conditions here. Okay, now in those terms and conditions, if we're incorporating email campaigns, we're going to tell them that they're going to receive emails and text messages. So we don't need a double opt-in via text message with this method or any other method. For instance, a web form on a website that also grabs a phone number and opts them into a text message. Our Wrecking Ball system can generate a web form. The terms and conditions can be presented to them in such a way that a second text message or a double opt-in is not required. In the condition of a payment reminder or an appointment reminder or a personal communication, you could contractually obligate that person, again, with expressed written consent. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. To receive that text message. Now, they could still opt out of receiving it, but you wouldn't be prosecutable at that time on the end of the expressed written consent. The Electronic Signatures Act, I don't remember what year it was published, state that acceptable expressed written consent is showing somebody in an unambiguous manner your terms and conditions, and you can take it in the form of a written signature, an electronic signature, a button press on a phone, or an acknowledgement via text message. Is any electronic means of agreement, as long as it's obvious and unambiguous, there's your legalese, is an acceptable signature to a written form of consent. Let's see. Paul says, just returned from overseas, Wrecking Ball customer for months, TTT still open. It is, Paul. Put in a support ticket. I'll put that back up on the screen here, and we'll get you hooked up. It's available. Peter says, is this business to consumer related or includes business to business communications? This is business to consumer. This is business to consumer, and who's affected is any consumer with the exception of an emergency. Okay, now I don't know exactly when a business would communicate with a consumer in an emergency fashion, but that's how it's written. So business to business is not covered. This is business to consumer. Okay. Let's see. Mark says, how do we get the short code? Mark, you can put in a support ticket or send us an email and let us know what country you're in. We can steer you in the appropriate direction. Brian says, to the extent that TCPA is probably good practice to follow, go forward, how relevant material is this for businesses outside the U.S.? Again, it's fairly relevant in Canada. From what I've heard, it's not relevant at all in the UK, but I don't know. I will certainly dig up that information if you have trouble finding it. But if you were to do a Google search for UK text message best practices, or whatever country you're in, I suspect you'd find the information you're looking for. And basically what you want to do is make sure you're following best practices. And you're going to be just fine. Carlos, this is a great point. Carlos says, you haven't mentioned anything regarding how long one needs to keep the information. I would say, Carl, you need to keep a record of that expressed written consent as long as you're marketing to that subject. Excuse me, guys. I got to grab a sip of water. I don't think we need to have a hard, fast 7-year rule here, but I would probably, we will be archiving data forever. Electronic resources to store that data are not expensive. There's really no point in getting rid of any of it. Just organize it so you can find it should you need it. So Joel says, I have been with another provider and they haven't even mentioned anything about these compliance changes. Yeah, well, that's why we invited non-customers to this webinar, because we haven't seen anybody talking about this at all. And it's going to put some of you in real jeopardy. So if your provider, whether you're a local business, a mom and pop, a large corporation, or are a reseller or a marketing consultant that has multiple clients, this is important. This is important, and we'll help any way that we can, but definitely inquire with your own service provider as to why they're not talking about this. Keep in mind here, guys, that you only have another 9 days to act on this. Now, if you're a Wrecking Ball customer on our USA shortcode, you're going to start seeing that pop up in a couple of days, and that's going to give you a week to re-invite everybody onto your list. I don't want you to fear this move. I want you to put a good offer out there. I want you to think about this for just a second. If you put a really, really tasty offer out there to, quote-unquote, bait them into renewing their membership, renewing their subscription to your list, all you've effectively done is controlled your costs. If you put a really sweet offer in there, for instance, let's say you're running a city deals type of SMS list, and you share that across multiple businesses. Well, instead of, putting a 20% off sushi coupon out there, why can't you put up, a bunch of gift certificates, a bunch of free stuff, some really tasty offers? Because anybody that would opt out or not reply at that point is probably somebody who's not reading your marketing messages anyway, and text is a commodity-based service. So you're spending money on that unresponsive audience anyway. So the key to this is to put an incredible offer in front of them, keep them coming back as a loyal customer, reward them for being a loyal customer, treat them good, but weed the list of the people that you're just wasting money on. This is an opportunity under the guise of new legislation to control your costs and identify your strongest targets. Nothing more, nothing less. Brett says, what would you say about using the Twitter shortcode where followers receive marketing messages? Customer follows on Twitter and Bizos or sends out offers via Twitter feed. I'm not going to speak to Twitter. I strongly suspect that Twitter's TOC, when somebody registers a new Twitter account, covers that. But I can't swear to it, so I don't know. Tim, yes, inside of the Wrecking Ball Mobiles area, as soon as we go live, like I said, we're hard coding the required messages for you guys in our software. Tim is asking, do we have examples of compliant messages that he can use? Inside of our members area, we'll be supplying those to you for those of you that have a legitimate reason to be on a long code and need to reinvite a long code list. Mark wants to know, is this being recorded? It absolutely is. We just covered that one. Tom says, so every time they are texted, they have to agree to the unambiguous written consent? No, absolutely, Tom. You need expressed written consent from them one time that lays out your deal. If your list sends them 10 texts a month, you need to tell them that. You need to explain to them what they're signing up for, but you only need that one time. And what our system does is it'll actually tag their cell phone number with a permission tag in your database. so we'll know on our end that this guy's good to go. Subsequent messages, incoming or outgoing, won't trigger that again. Conversely, if you don't get the expressed written consent, that phone number will not be available for broadcast going forward on our shortcode. Let's see. So if you're still using table tents at the location to capture your client's phone numbers, is the customer texting the keyword to the number enough for the opt-in, or do they have to respond with a yes to the initial text message? They still need to respond with a yes. Now, what you could do, again, Len, consult your advisor, but I'm going to go back a few slides. This is going to be more than adequate in my opinion. Actually, I got to go back a few slides. I showed you an example of a re-invitation message that spanned 2 text messages. So I'm going to go back to that right here. Okay. What you could absolutely do is put your terms and conditions on your table tents, at the bottom of the table tent, right, in small letters, the fine print. Okay. And then this message could be condensed down to say, I agree to the terms and conditions as presented to me on the table tent. Now, you'd want to word that differently, but that's what you could do. The tail end of this message, this welcome message, should pretty much always be here. Not necessarily with the link, but there should be a support link, a TC link if it's available. You're going to see in the very, very near future the 160 character limit of a text message lifted anyway. I believe you're going to be able to send a virtual book as a single message, which is also going to open up some opportunities. But if you show them the terms and conditions and then make them agree specifically to those terms and conditions with the text, you could just have them reply with a yes, and you wouldn't have to send them a whole big long book. Okay? So that's an option for some of you. Tell me how I can find out more about the software. I'm going to cut to the end of this. You can hit us up at support@wreckingballmobile.com or support.wreckingballmobile.com. It will take you to our support desk, or you can go to projectloyalty.com if you're interested in our Project Loyalty. If you're interested in our SMS platform or our show code, hit us up at either one of these support addresses, and we'll get you all the information and put you in touch with somebody that can help. If you're looking for more information on in-store loyalty for your marketing practice or for your business, please go to projectloyalty.com. Take a look at everything we have there. We're confident that you're going to give us a call. So let's see. Karen says, if we have a list that's already double opted in, do we still need to re-invite them? You do, Karen, and I'll tell you why. It's because of the specific language that's required in the automated text message marketing, and opt-in's not required to purchase or play. Because I'm sure you just said, what's your name? Or what's your email? If you have a situation where you have a compliant welcome message that went out on your double opt-in, put in a support ticket and let us know which list that is, and we can take a look at your database and we can manually approve it. So if you have such an animal, very few people had taken advantage of that double opt-in, even though we told them this was coming. If you have such an animal, just find us in support and we'll be able to work with you. Brian Jakes from our support desk also says, if you send in a support ticket via HTTP, then it's not necessary to send an email also. So you can go to one or the other. It will accomplish the exact same goal. Thank you, Brian. Michael says, this is something that has been known for a while. How come the majority of SMS companies waited until now to push the system knowing? Well, very frankly, I'll speak to that. I can only speak to that personally and internally. You can't just change a piece of software overnight. There was a lot of lead time and development, and between February and now, there was a lot of work that went into how to do it, how to pull it off, and how to code our software so it worked correctly for you. You're also better off having that fresh lead now, right? If you had got them to go through this process back in February, the identification process wouldn't have been real strong right now as far as the cost versus delivery stuff that we were just talking about a few minutes ago. Let's see. John says, I haven't switched over to shared shortcode. Is there additional price for us? Yeah. Contact us up in support, John. We'll get you all of the information that you need on shared shortcode for Wrecking Ball. If you're a Wrecking Ball customer, that's no problem. If you're not a Wrecking Ball customer and you're a small business owner and you're looking for a simple solution to start doing text message marketing, please contact us in support as well. And we'll be more than happy to talk to you and put you in touch with a personal concierge that can set you up and get you moving. If you're a small business owner interested in unique, new, interactive ways to get more of your customers coming back more of the time and find new customers through viral sharing of your existing offers, please check out projectloyalty.com and you can contact us there. Let's see. We'll scroll through some more questions here. Tom wants to know, if you're running a poll for something similar to like X Factor or Vote for Your Favorite Singer, will you need to get them to double opt-in before sending a confirmation text acknowledging their vote? No, Tom. If they're voting, if they're texting in to participate in something, if they're voting, the expectation of a reply text is just fine. If you go to market to that stored list, you will need expressed prior written consent. So you can have people participate with a text message in various things, systems, voting, trivia. What you can't do is then send that person a marketing text, an auto-dialed marketing text, promoting an offer until you have expressed prior written consent. Is the double opt-in available for long codes? Yes, Ken. If you have Wrecking Ball, it's available whether you're using long codes or short codes. Is the email part of loyalty functioning now? Yes, it is. So after 10, Gerald says, so after 10.16, any new opt-ins will need to get the welcome message and to double opt-in with their name back, and current lists need to ask them to reconfirm now. Do we need to get a new keyword to have them reconfirm to, or does WB have a way of doing that? No, Wrecking Ball has a way of doing that. You won't need to add any additional keywords or campaigns into your system. Again, you'll see it starting probably Thursday morning, so we want to give you a week to re-invite everybody. That gives you a couple of opportunities to do it, and it'll be intuitive and self-explanatory as it happens. And we're having another Wrecking Ball technical Q&A on Friday and a Project Loyalty technical Q&A tomorrow, guys. I'll be posting a schedule later today, so if we can answer any technical questions there as well. Let's see. Yeah, David says it just makes sense to cover your butt now or in the future. You're absolutely right. And like I said, David, if you can't get them to reply to want to be on that list, all you're doing is wasting your money sending them a text message anyway. So there's not a ton of opportunity lost here. Let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit. There's literally 300 or 400 questions in the question box, guys. I know we're not going to get to all of them, so you can see on your screen where to find us, and please reach out for any and all questions that you may have. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure the new regs apply to B2B transactions too, Rick says. You know, Rick, do your own research. I believe that to be there. If you read all of it, including the stuff that specifically talks about voice, and then know that an SMS is technically considered a call in the letter of law, there's some clauses in place that would tell me that you're okay there. But again, if you're follow best practices. Follow best practices in every case. It's just like best practices for anything else. If you want to stay out of trouble, follow best practices. Let's see. Let's see, John P. Please copy and paste that into support. It says read privately, and it's very, very long. Put that in support, John, and I'll take a peek at it. I don't know exactly what it was. Let's see. Joe wants to know if we set up a brand new campaign today with the proper double opt-ins under WBSMS, will you force us to double opt out members again? No, we won't. We won't. All right. Will this session be recorded? Absolutely. And I'll email it out to all of you. And I will put it, I'll tell you what, if you go to our support.wreckingballmobile.com, I will put this in the news feed as well, the replay. So it'll be right there front and center at the support link that's showing. Bob says they also need to be informed of how to opt out of messages at any time in the future. Yes, that's correct, Bob. Any marketing message, any blast that goes out needs to have a pen text. Our systems take care of that for you by putting in a reply stop to end message. Let's see. Karen says if they agree to receive 4 messages per month and you happen to send them 5 or 6 messages, is that okay? That's a great question, Karen. My opinion is that if somebody really wanted to get sticky and somebody filed a class action lawsuit against you, is that no, that wouldn't be okay. Again, my opinion is also that if you were to send an average of 4 per month and that's what you told them, and 1 month you sent 5, I doubt that many of your list would be upset with you because overall they knew what the intention was. So would they complain to trigger a class action lawsuit? I would doubt it. Let's see. Take 2 more questions here and then we'll wrap it up, get this recording going. Again, guys, you can hit us up at http://support.wreckingballmobile.com or email us at support@wreckingballmobile.com and we'll get any questions answered. I haven't heard about this from anybody else. Well, one more reason we'd like you to be part of our Wrecking Ball family and part of our mastermind group and part of our software. I haven't heard a lot about this either, and I think it's going to be a problem for a lot of people. So we didn't want it to be a problem for our customers, and we certainly don't want it to be a problem for you if you're not our customer. And like I said, if there's any way that we can help, I'll be more than happy to help out. Let's see. Scroll down here. I'm only 33% of the way into the question box here, guys. So there's 300 or 400 questions that will not get answered. we'll help you out any way we can. You know where to find us. Let's see. What agency are these regulations from? The FCC, not the FTC, the FCC. And if you Google Telephone Consumer Protection Act, you'll find everything that you need to know about it. Although right now you can't get to it because of the government shutdown. So you can't get to the actual website that has these regulations on it. So, sounds to me like it would be a good idea to reinvite a couple of times a year just to refresh the list, if nothing else. Yeah, George, it would be. But what I would be doing is once you have the expressed written consent, once, you're good to go. So I would reinvite them, but in a different way. Within Wrecking Ball SMS, you have the ability, using our logical functions, to sort, segment a list and get people to reply, and there would be more effective marketing ways to do that than to just continue to send out the written consent message. And let's see. Mike says, once again, this is the reason I buy your products. You guys give such awesome support. Thank you. Let me see. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and see if I can grab one more. Tom says, will that WBSMS hard-coded protection against the FCC regulation apply to long code users? No, Tom, it will not. You'll have to do it manually. We'll supply the language, and I would encourage you to join us on Friday's Q&A call, or excuse me, tomorrow's Q&A call. We'll cover it. If you can't make it, we'll get that recording out to you and make sure that you know how to do it. So let's see. Yes. All right. When will the recording be made available? We should have it posted over at support.wreckingballmobile.com within the next hour and a half or so. I'm going to do my best to get that. So those of you that are customers of ours, thank you for being here. Those of you that are new to Wrecking Ball Marketing, thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful. And again, you know where to find us. Please let us know how we can help you with your journey and help you with your marketing. We're here, and we'll do anything that we can do for you. So on behalf of the rest of the Wrecking Ball crew, my name's Dave Igo, and I want to encourage you all to have a very, very good day and a very profitable tomorrow. And we'll talk to you soon.